Hey guys, this is Shane Everett Henry. Today we're going to talk about 10 things that make you a better creator. What makes you a better creator? Number 1, create. Sometimes we get in the groove of not really wanting to create because we just don't feel like it, or maybe we just feel depressed about it. But the fact is, the more that we create, the better we get at creating. So create. Let it loose. That beast inside of you that needs to get out and let itself be known, such as your creation. Number 2, don't overconsume content. We want to learn as much as we can all the time. Sometimes that can be really good, but when we learn and not really practice, then we get to this stage where we're not actually doing anything. We're not setting aside the time to actually create. When we consume so much content every day that we want to, better ourselves and stuff, then it actually can hinder us because we're not bettering ourselves. We're just watching other people talk to us about bettering ourselves. So let's better ourselves and be better, guys. Let's not overconsume content and instead take some of that time to actually create the content. We could put it to practice, these things that we learn. There's a good balance there. Number 3, try new things. You can't always just do the same thing over and over, and a lot of times we don't know what the next amazing thing that we're going to do is going to be. So you have to try new things. Try something new every day, and that could be part of your creation schedule. You might find a new niche that you really love, or a new way to do something, just because you're taking that time to try something new out. That could be the next step that could really lift you up a little bit further on your journey. Something new. So let's try out new things, guys. Number 4, work on things one at a time. I know it's very tempting to want to multitask, and we have so much going on in life. We want to get everything done all at the same time, and we want to get things done quickly. So if we put a little bit more on our plate and do this at the same time as we're doing this, then we could get there a little quicker, but it never actually plays out like that. If you focus on one thing at a time, then you become a master at that one thing. You get that one thing accomplished, then you'll be much better off for it in the long run. And then move on to the next thing and practice that, learn that. Each thing comes with its own hardships too. So whenever you're trying many things and all those hardships just roll on all at the same time, and then you feel like you've gotten absolutely nowhere. And sometimes it's really a waste of our time to try and multitask too much, because we never actually get to the point. The one thing, then when you get good at that, you do the other thing, and then you can kind of throw them all together. After you've kind of done a little bit of this and that, after you've practiced and you've mastered each individual thing, then it'll be a lot easier to bring them all together into a greater creation, a greater masterpiece. And whether that we're talking about skills, or you're talking about everything it takes to actually bring together a larger kind of content that you're trying to produce. Number 5, don't try and be perfect on every attempt. It's okay to fail. We're gonna fail. And if you try and be perfect at every attempt, you're just looking in the face of disaster. You're going to fail sometimes, and that's okay. That's how we learn. And if you try and be perfect at every attempt, then you're setting a standard up for yourself that is almost unrealistic. Even professional photographers or professional artists, they all make mistakes of any sort. Professional musicians, they still mess up still, and it's going to happen. So setting that bar so high for yourself that you actually deter yourself from creating just because it's not going to be perfect can really hinder you in the long run. So don't be so hard on yourself, and it's okay. Sometimes those mess ups can actually lead to the next best thing that you've ever done. Serendipity is real, guys. But don't try and be perfect on every attempt. Number 6, learn from your failures. Like we just mentioned, we're all gonna fail. It's inevitable. but let's not waller in it and just roll on the floor and then just not get up and do anything about it. Let's not keep making those same mistakes over and over. Let's learn from it. There's something that caused us to fall, and we can, take that and take a lesson from it, get better, work on that one thing like we talked about, and let that one thing be the things that you keep on messing up at or that you fail at. And you take one failure at a time and you put it into practice, achieving that next goal, achieving that next big thing, one failure at a time. That's how you get there, one step at a time. A 1,000-mile journey begins with one step. So learn from our failures. Number 7, stay consistent. It takes a lot of practice to get to be good at anything. So stay consistent. Keep up the work. Do a little something every day. You'll be amazed at what it can do for you. There are so many things that you could do in life, and just pick one every single day to be creative at. Stay consistent. Just do it over and over. As many variations as you can think of. Just be consistent with it. Be consistent at creating itself. Even if you can't draw a picture every day, well, do something else creative that can enliven that spark a little bit. Sing, learn to use your voice better. You could sing, you could, read a book, or go, do something creative every day. Flexing that creative muscle, you will get stronger. If you're flexing it in one way, it's still going to help you in other ways too. And it's actually building a habit. When you build that creative habit, then it's really going to reflect that later in your creative journey. So stay consistent. Number 8, learn from others, but be yourself. Don't forget to be yourself. We can get so caught up in emulating other people to learn the things that they're teaching, or we want to be like other people, do their things, but when we emulate somebody so much, then we're really getting further away from the essence of our own creativity. Let your own creativity expand as who you are. Don't be afraid of your own uniqueness. That's what makes your art your art. So, it's okay to learn from others, and it's okay to emulate sometimes so we can learn new skills. But what's going to really set yourself apart from others is being yourself. And, so I encourage you, don't be afraid of being yourself, my friends. Number 9, do what you're passionate about. If you do what you're passionate about, it won't get old. It won't get tiring. It will be easy to create over and over and over again if it's something that you absolutely love. And I encourage you to find things in your life that you really love and just continue to do them, that really flexes that creative muscle, that makes you feel, invigorated. When you do it, it enlivens you, because that's one of the best parts about living, is having that one creative aspect, or 10 creative aspects, or whatever, but just love what you do. Love it. And it will change your life to absolutely be passionate about it. And you've never met anybody who hated their job and worked at it for 50 years and been like, this is the best thing ever. I'm so glad I did this. But those people who worked at their job for 50 years and they've absolutely loved it, they said, I stayed at it this long and I got so good at it because I loved it. And I was passionate about it. And whether it's your job or whether it's just some hobby that we're talking about, or a skill, if you love what you do, then it's going to go very far. So absolutely be passionate, go after it, care about what you're doing, and it will create more creativity within you to have that passion, and that passion will pave new paths for you that you never even thought were possible before. So be passionate, my friends. Number 10, ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. We all have to start somewhere, and not a single one of us starts knowing everything. So don't be afraid to, humble yourself and ask somebody, what you don't know. Because you don't know until you know. And you only know when you find out. And you find out by asking questions. So I encourage you, ask questions. Ask me questions. And at this point, I'm going to ask you a question. What drives you? What makes you passionate? What brings your, art, you know, to a head. What makes you feel creative? What makes you want to continue to go? How do you maintain your creative cycle? Absolutely. Throw that down in the comment section below. I look forward to hearing that from you guys. And I got one more bonus tip for you guys today. Love what you create. Even if it's not your masterpiece, you know, even if it's, you know, something that maybe you're not 100% in love with the whole part of it, if you created it, absolutely love it. If you create something, then love that something because you're its creator. Embrace it. No matter, you know, how primitive or, you know, complex it may be, it's still your creation. And when you learn to love what you create, then you're going to love the act of creating so much more. And I know all these points are heavily intertwined here, but I highly encourage you to find something that you love to create and go after it with all your heart. And keep creating every single day, and it will invigorate your soul. It will help you to, you know, be more passionate about life, about others, and you can help others with your passions that way as well. So I encourage you guys to go out and make some art today. My name's Shane Everett Henry. It's good seeing you guys today. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button if you like what you're watching. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Now let's go make some art.